Alright, here we are in a beautiful Santa Barbara morning. Perfect place to be doing a 1948 Woody wagon. We know the history really well in this car. We're going to walk around and tell you about it like we usually do. Beautifully done, resting on about a $225,000 restoration that was completed in about 2011. It was done by Lowndes Hot Rods out of South Dakota. The owner that had it restored wanted that perfect Woody with a good subtle feel, and he created that. So they purchased this car out of a well-known Woody collection, a low mile original, prior to the restoration, and it's had a complete frame body off restoration top to bottom. As we walk around here, we're going to cover what we know and what we see, as we always do. Beautiful car. Underneath the hood here is a H&H Flathead V8. They wanted to keep the original presence of the car, but they want a little bit of hopped up period feel underneath the hood. Make sure you hang on for that. It has a Columbia 2-speed rear axle, has a 3-on-a-tree transmission. It's finished in a beautiful black lacquer, and the wood finishes, all the wood on this car except for one little tiny piece in the back is all original wood. What I like what they did about it, gives it kind of a patina feel to it. They finished all the wood in a satin finish rather than a shiny gloss brushed on finish, and it just gives this car a nice subtle feel, I would say, but also just beautiful in its overall presence. Sorry for shaking my camera around, got in the way of my cheat sheet there. We'll step back and let you take a look here from the side view just to cover a little bit more. Has Excelsior radials, tires on it, period styles with Ford Deluxe wheel trim on it. Beautiful factory trim. The fit and finish of this car top to bottom is just spectacular. The chrome is show quality. 1948 or early California plates on the front here with a 48 registration decal on it. Again, underneath the hood's a lot of fun, but a body off style restoration where the bottom side's just as nice as the top, and definitely want you to hang on to the video. Kind of leaves you speechless. As I walk around, I take things in and try and bring them into my brain and get ready for this kind of thing. I've done a really nice photo set. You're going to enjoy it. Spud's Garage. Nice swan neck factory style mirrors here. The woodwork, like I talked about, is all original woodwork with a beautiful satin finish, so it has a nice original style character or presence to it. Kind of get a feel there. 48 running boards are actually hidden within, so when you open up the door, there's running boards here, but door jamb to door jamb, just beautifully done. All the woodwork inside and out has the same satin finish. All the dash trim, it's all factory dash trim with a 3-on-the-tree like we talked about. The clock's been restored. The radio's been updated with an AM/FM iPod connection by Hot Rod Electric out of Costa Mesa. The interior itself is finished in a very nice high-end factory style leather. You'll see the cowhide grain to it, and the way that's stitched here. Has seat belts all the way through. Has power brakes added to it. Again, a Columbia 2-speed. Has a factory heater here. Rubber mat, floor mats. We'll get into the back, but all the floor pans inside and out. We'll kind of lift one up here to kind of give you a feel. The level of the restoration here is just spectacular. Jute padding on the back of the pad. We actually cover that a little bit more in the back end when we open it up for you. If you've been looking for a really super nice Woody, see how that door shuts? Just click. All the glass looks like it's been upgraded with tempered style glass, and then they re-etched the date codes and the Ford script on the windows here. Wind wings, same thing. Could be original glass, but to me it's probably been installed with new safety glass on it. Restoration files included with the car. Kind of give you a feeler as we get up. We'll give you another peek at the dash here. You hear my paperwork rustling around in my hand. Spud truck in the background there. Look at the woodwork here. Beautiful. It has all 3 seats, front seat and 2 rear seats, so it's a true full passenger vehicle. You can see the grade of the leather there, just beautiful. Again, rubber mat in the back here. You'll see all the finish here on all the body brackets to the wood are just beautiful, and this is show quality here. And again, underneath the mats is all show quality. All correct hardware. So restoration of original wood. Seat belts have been added. Again, Excelsior radios. Those are 550 R16s on it. Kind of give you some of the door jamb here. Might be a little bit of a long video by the time I get all the way through this. We'll actually take a pause in the back here and invite you inside. You can see how the doors shut. All 4 doors shut right. It's hard to get wood just right, but you'll see the original character of this wood is just spectacular. Equipped with Columbia, the Skyway drive. It's a 2-speed rear axle in it. You see the wood here. It has had turn signal upgrade done to it, so it's got signal stat turn signals. We'll cover that for you. Nice view there. Full-size spare on the back. Factory tire wrap, spare tire wrap. Finished in show quality black lacquer, just like the rest of the car. And again, we'll have a segment here that will cover this back area. I was going to stop here, but I'm just going to keep going. And you'll catch it after this. Runs flawlessly, very peppy. H&H Flathead V8, 4 and let me see here, 4 1/8 inch scat crankshaft in it, scat rods, 3/4 lift camshaft, Eddie Meyer Hollywood stuff underneath the hood. We'll get you in the back here. You kind of get a good feel for this car as you look all the way through it. As I reach all the door handles and everything that I opened during this, all these handles, again, this was a good solid original prior to the body off complete professional restoration. And a lot of these door handle trims inside and outside appear to be originals. Of course, they polished all the trim and stuff like that, but so they have just a little bit of character to them, like the car does. All the windows are just butter smooth. I've rolled down every window. We'll stop back here and kind of give you a feel through the window. I just rolled down the window. You'll see the latches, the black lacquer on the latches is done the same way. Click. That doesn't push very hard. Click. You'll see the leather here. Again, underneath the floor mats, the shine. You've walked around the video with me. I've covered the floors with you. Top to bottom, professional restoration. All the dash wood grain's been completely refinished. All the factory gauges have been restored. Has signal stat turn signals have been added. They even built a nice little tube here to run the wires through. Hood release here. Here's the Columbia overdrive control right there. Sweet. Make sure the seat brake's on right there. Emergency brake's on. This again has been converted by Hot Rod Electric. We never turn the radios on, but it has an iPod capable connection. Got electric fuel pump. You can hear it going just a little bit. Little helper pump. You hear me say throughout videos, I dig my job. This is a really nice Woody. I know it well. Has less than 600 miles on it since it was restored. Fuel gauge working, oil pressure gauge showing just under 30 there. Charging has been converted to 12 volt alternator in a generator housing. Temp gauge working. Clocks working. Again, take a look at the woodwork here. Has a battery turn off on it, so he turns the battery off. 3 on the tree. See if you can hear it here. Go back here. Hey Tom, can you rev it up a little bit for me? You can hear the cam in it right now. I'm going to have him rev it up so you kind of get a feel. Can you rev it up a little bit for me? Perfect, thank you. Alright, there you go. Hang on to the end of the video. Alright, as promised, we'll get you underneath the hood just like the rest of the car. You can tell this is a very, very high level restoration. Every square inch of this car was addressed during the restoration on a good solid original. You know, every attempt was made, you can tell by looking at the exterior car, to preserve an original style presence woody, while tastefully adding period correct style performance upgrades. We'll actually have the original spec sheet from the engine build by H&H Flatheads, the Flathead specialists that built the engine on. A lot of time and money went into the engine. You'll have all 3 sheets at Spud's Garage. It's about 13 grand into this Flathead V8, and it's very meticulous style installation front to back. It has a factory 3-speed transmission, a Columbia 2-speed rear axle. We have the spec sheet, and I have a slight cheat sheet in my hand here, but we're going to cover most of what we can under the hood here in ad lib. This video is liable to be just a little bit long. It was a complete custom built engine by H&H Flatheads. Has a Scat 4 1/8 crankshaft, Scat H-beam rods. It's a new camshaft, 3/4 cut, 274 duration, 355 lift. I could go on. It has all new pistons, pump, bearings, that type of thing, and it has a lot of vintage period speed stuff on it. It has an Eddie Meyer intake manifold, dual Stromberg 97s. It has Eddie Meyer Hollywood cylinder heads on it. You'll see the Stromberg 97s and the Eddie Meyer here underneath the hood on the intake manifold. Just some cool vintage, some of it I'm sure is reproduction stuff, but that's okay. Eddie Meyer's fuel block here on the firewall, the finned air filter, kind of just covered for you. The distributor has been updated with electronic ignition, but again, the factory style feel, that type of thing. It's been updated to 12 volt. The generator on here is actually an alternator, a generator housing converted to an alternator. Has an oil filter system here. All cloth wiring, that type of thing. And here's the Columbia 2-speed controls that are bolted right here. All the controls for the Columbia 2-speed, which is fully functional. That's not a cheap date when it comes to installing a rear end in one of these. Everybody wants a Columbia, but if you do it right, it's not cheap. Covering over here on the passenger side, same thing, same level of detail. Updated power brakes on it. Again, Eddie Meyer Hollywood cylinder heads. You'll see the cloth spark plug wires here. The battery's still up front here. Makes an easy access for you. I could spend all day underneath the hood covering a lot of different things. I see a lot of neat stuff. This vacuum block looks like it was custom made for the power brakes units, but this car is fully functional. I believe those are Fenton headers down here. Again, I'll have a full spec sheet at spudsgarage.com. Appreciate you listening to me. Make sure you hang on to the end of the video. Have a great day. Alright, we're going to cover the back here with the tailgate down and the compartment open, and kind of share the quality that's throughout this car. Is just amazing. Show you the finish up on the roof liner there. Matches the rest of the car. It has that beautiful satin finish all the way throughout, and all the woodwork in the inside is finished the same way. This is a high-end leather upholstery in it, factory style stitching. They have leather wraps on the gate springs here. The finish all the way throughout in the interior of the floor pans here. I covered a little bit on the walk around video. You'll see the bottom of the floor, the top side of the floor pans and the bottoms are finished very nice. Underneath the mat with jute padding. I think it wouldn't have had jute padding from the factory. They just did that, and it helps a lot with sound. Again, the same finish throughout here. You have a nice picnic back here, that's for sure. Anyway, we think you get the idea. Alright, he's fired it up and he turned it around one more time here for me. Kind of give you a feel. The sound of that with the flatty is just beautiful. Might be a little bit of a long video. Dig you coming to Spud's Garage. Alright, I appreciate you listening to me all the way to the end here, and we're going to cover the undercarriage. Very fine. Anyway, we're going to take a look at the undercarriage here and kind of give you a feel. Wind might pick up a little bit. You'll see the level of the body off restoration here is just unbelievable. You'll see the Columbia 2-speed rear axle in the back, custom dual exhaust with Fenton headers, 3-speed. Just give you a feel there. It's been updated with power brakes. You see the booster there in the rear. Again, we know this car very well. Sometimes cars come back to us after a few years. Customers have enjoyed them a few hundred miles here and there. This has been enjoyed at the beach down here. Woody shows. Again, a high-level restoration, top to bottom, inside and out on this car. Smitty's mufflers right there is what I believe those are. Again, a full restoration file. Restoration photos before and after are going to be available at spudsgarage.com. Front tires are 600 R16 Excelsior Stall Sport radials, so period style. Front suspensions, all factory drum brakes that have been upgraded to power. Gas shocks, all four corners. And you feel the undercarriage here. If you're looking for a super nice 48 Woody that just talks to you with his presence, this would be one of those cars. Probably venture to say this is one of the finest in this style presentation that I've seen in many years, and I know this car well. I know the gentleman that had it restored, and I know the gentleman that bought it from the gentleman that had it restored. When you're doing this as long as we've been doing this, this gentleman's thoroughly enjoyed the car, owned it about 2.5 years, going on 3 years. Put a couple hundred miles on it. The restorer put about 400 miles on it. Anyway, we know you get the idea. I covered a tire size when I did the walk around on the rear here. Go to spudsgarage.com. Have a great day. Thanks for listening to me. Catch you later.